Andas un poco agresiva hoy, ¿no?
No. No, keep saying.
Why are we matching right now?
Why did you copy me?
I just like the shirt. Welcome to the Cosmic Ocean. Okay, cool.
Welcome.
My name is Nayeli.
And I'm Fatima.
And this is our podcast. And
Really?
okay. And then you can follow me on all platforms as the Nay_area.
And you can follow me on TikTok and Instagram, La Hija del Maíz with an E. A-M-A-I-Z-E.
Cool. Before we start, mice. Before we start, we are on the unceded land of the Arapaho peoples and the Cheyenne peoples, amongst many, many other peoples who have walked this land. We are on stolen land. It is always important to acknowledge that. So, yeah. I was looking at my camera roll, and I was looking at a little map of the indigenous colonies that were there from Mexico.
Oh.
And it was interesting because Tarahumara wasn't where Chihuahua is. Maybe La Sierra, but not fully Chihuahua.
More Durango.
More Durango.
Yeah. So you have to remember where the Sierra is. So we're from, I was born in Parral.
Well, actually, I don't know because Durango's down, no?
No.
Because it was more like this. More.
Durango's next to. No, it's like down.
It's down. Tarahumara was more. Maybe. I'd have to check, honestly. I don't know.
Now I have to look.
Why are you coughing?
Uh-huh.
It's so chilly out today.
I have to look. Hold on.
I really thought that it wasn't going to snow or anything in October. October was going to be a hot month. Y nada que desperté.
Wait, but
cold.
it is down.
What? It is down. But I'm telling you that the map where the Tarahumara was more like...
What do you mean?
Was more west than south.
Oh, okay.
Southwest than
Like
just
the
south.
Sonora, Sinaloa
Can
area?
I see? I don't know. Oh, you know what? No, it was 100% Chihuahua. 100% donde está la sierra.
So I was born in Parral. My mom was born in Parral, but my dad's born in the Sierra de Chihuahua. And so the part of the Sierra that from Chihuahua, they're really close to Durango area.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that's why we have also...
And we have family from Durango too.
And then my grandpa, so when I did my DNA test... Oh, it's interesting. So I was talking about this at work too. My DNA test, it's from the Chihuahua Durango area, indigenous. My indigeneity,
I think so.
is from Chihuahua and Durango
Yeah.
area. So that's where the Tepehuanes are, the Tepehuane Indians as well. The Tepehuanes, the Tarahumaras, and the Ramuri. And the Ramuri are the ones who run as well as the Tarahumaras.
What were you talking about at work?
No, so just something, it came up that my coworker was saying how she didn't know, she had never done a DNA test. And I was telling her how I'm like perfect mestiza because I'm 50% Española and then 50% indigenous. So it's super great mix. Perfect mix.
Yeah.
A mestiza mix.
Perfect. What is perfect? Well,
Perfect
when
for
we
me.
when we
Me too.
talk about balance and duality, you also have to take into consideration that it doesn't always mean 50-50.
Right.
And it changes every day.
Right.
So it could be 20-70. I mean 20-80.
It's your balance, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yours is 50-50?
Okay, no. So it's like 50-40, and then like the other 10% is like Ghana, all these little islands up, and
When did you do that?
I did that a while ago. How long ago did I do that? I did it a while ago.
And what was it?
The ancestry?
Oh,
I did my
ancestry.
ancestry. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You didn't do the...
The 23andMe?
Yeah.
No, my brother did that one, and my grandma did that one. So it's really interesting too, like talking about like the the balance. And my brother's like 60 to 70% Spanish, Espanol, and the rest. So it's like really weird how we have the same parents, we have the same everything, but we're totally completely different. It's like so weird.
Yeah. I mean, I think too you can just tell when you see him.
Oh yeah,
Because he's white,
He's
tall, and redhead.
right.
Do you want to be a little vulnerable today? Or no?
Maybe.
So I thought it was absolutely insane just being a third party with absolutely no, what is it called? What does she say in She's the Man? I'm just a third party observer with nothing to do
with no interest and no what is it? Yeah, well, no interest in it.
No interest, some shit like that.
O sea, you had no culpabilidad.
Yeah.
But how did it feel to be so okay? So for me, I just had a hard week.
Well, but I wanted to talk specifically about how you were being triggered, and it was like the very ends of Mercury retrograde. You had some childhood trauma that was triggered. Mm-hmm. And you sat with it for like a week, and then it just got worse and worse and worse because it was like being unveiled. It was as if the more that you sat with it, the more that you like chipped away at, okay, what is it really? What is it really?
Right.
And it got deeper and deeper and deeper. It was insane watching you do that. And then I
Spiral?
No. Unveil what really was the problem.
True.
Because you just sat with it. It was affecting you for so long, but you didn't know why. Mm-hmm. Or I don't even know if you tried to know why. You were just like sitting under this cloud for a minute. And then we were at dinner, and it was almost as if I don't think it hit yet. Mm-hmm. Like you still didn't know, but you were still pissed off about it, you know. Mm-hmm. And then we were at the movie theater, and not until, those things happened, mm-hmm. did you realize, holy shit, I know what it is.
Which is
you're easily triggered by hiding and tiptoes. Yeah. And I think that was a big epiphany for you.
Oh my God. I realized, oh my God, okay. So now can I share?
Yeah, for sure.
And you butt in anytime because you were like the third party in all of this. It was so freaking
yeah. For the first time in my life.
You're just like, oh, let me get my popcorn.
Dead ass.
Don't worry.
Dead ass.
So I guess when I got back from Egypt, all this stuff was going on with my family. And then one of the things I realized was how my main thing was like, oh my God, I was just lied to my whole life. My whole childhood is a lie, right? And it just goes deeper it's deeper than that, right? It's the whole gaslighting, so my dad, is an alcoholic, and he didn't drink when we were older. And I just realized that I was told that he didn't drink when I was little, or that my whole life, that he didn't drink. And so then just talking to my sisters and just some stuff happened, and we put 2 and 2 together, and I realized, oh my God, he literally stopped drinking when I was like 10. And there probably wasn't some more situations, but I blocked them out. But because I remember certain things, and I remember speaking up to my mom and be like, or even in front of them, both of them. Oh, I remember that, you were drinking and we had to go pick you up, and my uncles, and we, me and my sister were in the back hiding. And then she was like, no, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. And so then I was like, okay, it didn't happen. So I don't, so I don't know where, okay. So then the situation happened over a couple weeks ago, and then I was just, talking to my sister about it, and I realized, oh my God, it did happen, right?
Because she remembers
too, and then she remembers other things that I don't remember, but then it's like weird, like
she unlocked it
when
she said it.
So all these things unlocked where I know that I'm really, I'm a gifted, what is it? That I just put stuff in a little box and hide it away in my mind? It's not good. It's not good.
What do you do?
It's a compartmentalizer.
Okay, I don't know. I think so.
And so I'm really good about that. And that's why I was able to always
and that's
suppress
on trauma.
Everything. Oh yeah, it's all trauma. It's all trauma. But now it makes sense. Mm-hmm. Because I've been doing this since I was little.
Because your mom's been telling you that's not true.
It's not true. And then so then like thinking about it now, like I remember my dad like passed out on the lawn, right? And my mom's like, that never happened. So now I'm like, oh my God. So I've been like hiding, like not believing the stuff that I saw my whole childhood, my whole teenage years. And then the other thing that's huge is like root trauma breeds root trauma, right? So then I was like, so now I get it. I was like, so much trauma. I grew up with an alcoholic parent, right? And so all that trauma obviously was passed down to me, and not because they were abusive or all that stuff. It's just because my dad didn't know what he was doing, right? It was his addiction. And then my mom was his dependent, or his what is it? Every addict has their enabler. So my mom was his enabler, right? And I think they didn't realize how, or is that just the way they work, right? There's no, I don't need to know, I don't need to understand it, because that's the way they function, right? That's their thing.
And then we go back to the fact that they just didn't have the tools to do anything better.
Right. And they didn't know.
And when you look at them as people, then you have to ask, okay, then what are you running from, Dad? If you're over here an addict, what are you running from? And then you know, but you see his life and you know. Right. So then it's just like, I don't know, it cuts even deeper. Or I guess that you do understand. You may not understand at 100%, or you may not agree, but you see why they do it. It doesn't justify it.
No.
But you see it.
Right. So I just think, like, this whole last couple weeks have just been so, just having to deal with that truth, right? And like I told you at one point, dealing with how human they are and that human part of them. Because I think for me, like, one of the other things I realized is like, oh my God. So then I saw this, I was lied to, I was told that my truth wasn't my truth. And then just being like gaslit. So then I think that obviously it just, I don't know, it just makes sense now, because I always grew up, or like my parents would always be like, oh, what did we do to get such terrible children? Yeah. Like, I don't know if they said terrible children, but
you know, they do.
But they're like, oh my God, what did we do to deserve this, right? What do we do to deserve you as a child? Because I'm not the perfect daughter. I'm not.
Or because you do not do what I want you to do. That part. It's not that they're bad. It's not that. Yeah. It's because grandma, or it's because they lost the control and they like the control.
Right. Right. But then it just sucks because I realized that, oh my God, so I always thought that I came from this perfect life, right? And was told that, oh my God, it's because your life is perfect. So then I was always like, what the hell is wrong with me? That I just had, all these issues and all this trauma. So I just came to that realization too. And I was like, oh my God, well, no wonder I have trust issues. And no wonder I have all these. So
you hate hiding.
For me, the main thing is like, I hate secrets. I hate hiding and the sneaking around, because that's one of the things that I realized that's what my parents did, right?
That's what you grew up with.
That's what I grew up with. And my worst feeling is like the walking around on eggshells. I hate that. Because I just remember having to do that around both of them. And then also just realizing how emotionally unavailable both of my parents were, even though I was told that they were there and they, but now just realizing, damn, they were so emotionally unavailable. Like, they weren't there. They weren't there.
I just thought that was so insane. And I hope that, because hearing this information, I'm like, wow, that must have set you free.
Oh my God.
Because you have been carrying this, and it's obviously not going to set you free right then and there, but at least some of the weight has been lifted. And with time, this is like the missing piece, not the missing piece, but in this case, a missing piece that will help you be in a space where you can be free.
Yeah, because I was talking to my sister, and I was like, I think I'm gonna go visit him.
Yeah?
Yeah. Cool. I was like, because I can see that. Because I was like, since finally. I got back.
That's why I was like, well, maybe not set you, because last time we were talking about it, you were like, no, fuck that.
I am not gonna give him my kidney.
Dead eyes. I'm like, oh my God. Wait, was that conversation before or after? Before? Cool.
Because I have to go through my anger. I have to feel the anger. Yeah. Except then the way. And like Sekhmet does this. You heal through your anger. And I have to go through my anger. Like Sekhmet. I don't know if we talked about her.
No, talk about
her. So Sekhmet is one of the manifestations, right, of would it be? Just one of the manifestations of God. And she
in Egyptian cosmology. And we talk a little bit about what manifestations are in the podcast. Fuck, I don't even know what I.
The one where I got back from Egypt.
The one that you got back from Egypt, but which one was that? Mercury retrograde, or the one after that, or the one before that? Do we remember?
So there was the one.
I think it was like 19, because this is what, 21? I think it was 19 or 18. Okay. Episode 19 or 18. Anyways, continue.
But short story, so manifestations is like, so we have God, right? And God can present in different manifestations. So this one is Sekhmet. and she was, let's say she was the daughter of Ra. There's many, many different stories around her. And she was sent down to Earth because everybody was being so bad. It was such a terrible place. And she just was sent down with a mission to pretty much eat everybody, to get rid of everybody. So she came down in the lion form, cat form, then a lion form, and she just ate everybody, gorged on everybody, made a mess, and killing everybody.
They say that she was drunk on blood.
So,
or blood drunk or whatever.
And so if you think about this story, not with the total part of the story, what does it remind you of? There's another story in the Bible too. It's like when what is it? The one with oh my god, one of the rappers sings about it too. That they turned to not look at the city because they were gonna get rid of the whole city, but they turned around, and if you turned around, you're gonna turn into salt. And he turned around and turned into salt.
Sarah and Abraham.
Yeah. So the whole city was a city of sin. So God set down destruction and destroyed the whole city.
Oh.
So it's like, see, there's always similar stories in the whole. Anyway. So Ra couldn't even control her because she was totally out of control. So then they made this whole, they filled a river with wine to get her drunk. And then when she fell asleep, then they injected her or whatever, calmed her down, and she came back to her human form. So through that anger came the healing. That's the whole story.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I know the version of, so she got so drunk that she slept for years. And when she woke up, she was more like sane. And then she felt all this guilt and she felt horrible for what she did. So then she went to Isis. And Isis, being the mother, helped her through her healing process.
Isis being love. And to the mother, remember we talked about how in the book I'm reading, she is the mother of the cosmos. Okay, yes.
So that's where I see that from. And so then Isis helps her through her healing journey, and Sekhmet becomes Hathor, who is
the mother the motherhood manifestation. Motherhood.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I thought that was really, really beautiful, and exactly what you were saying.
Yeah.
So through extreme suffering, or through suffering and pain and anger, do we come out rebirthed? We come out and we're able to see the love? Right. You know what I mean?
And I think it's really good though to go through the anger because, well, for me, I have to, like, that's just the way I feel it. But at least not being stuck there, right? So I was in it and I felt it. Well, that wasn't too bad. Like, I didn't feel like I lashed out too much.
No, but you did carry it for a long time. I carried it. For at least like a week and a half.
Because I was like, what the hell? Yeah, because I didn't know how to process it. Well, I was processing it, but I didn't know where it came. It was just a lot.
Yeah, you didn't know where it came from.
I was like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this? So I think just realizing how much, like, how those little things, how they're still there, right? It's still there. We're still working through all this stuff. I'm still working through all this trauma and stuff. But it's just like another piece of the puzzle. Like the many. So you started, it's a 50-piece puzzle, then it's a 100-piece. Right now I'm like at a 5,000-piece puzzle.
And you're like, damn, it was this one right here. Yeah.
But I don't remember where I was going with it. Damn.
Well, it was.
Where were we?
I thought that it was incredible. To watch all of it, because even if you wanted to be done with it, you couldn't until what happened with Aurora. Like, you could not. You could not move from it, because that was just a very crucial part of the entire story. That conversation that we had in the movie theater, I think, was just like what you needed to hear. It wasn't even a conversation. I was just listening you talk. And I think that was hopefully you saw that's how you process it, is by letting it out.
Oh yeah.
And by
so it's like, I guess, just realizing how deep my wounds were, that like this is how. So one of my main things was I would always blame my mom. Right? I always blame my mom, and I would be like, oh my god, my dad's perfect, my dad. But then now I'm like, oh my god, I'm just seeing how, my mom did the best she could with what she had, and dealing with this person who was not, in their right mind with their alcoholism, and then my dad just fighting that disease his whole life. And so then now I'm like, okay, well, it's not that she was to blame, but I totally just blamed her for everything, right? Like, when it's both of them, it was both of them. They picked each other, they stayed together, they're codependents. But then also just seeing how all that trauma, all that stuff that I had to go through with them, and then I just went and found a partner just like that, and then I just kept repeating those cycles and just thinking that that's what love is, and that's where my worth was, right? And so just seeing all that, and I'm just like, oh my God, my poor root chakra.
What did you, every time I'm like, ugh, especially I think it was like the last week, I was like, oh my God, poor them, and you'd always be like, no, not poor them, that is the life they chose,
right?
So no, not poor you, that is the life you chose, not your poor root chakra.
You're right.
You had to go through that. And then I hope that you were able to humanize them, because then you went around and you did the same thing with your children. You did the same thing. Because, like, you still have yet to say, I forgive them. Or you still have, and then, you know, like, take your time.
The parents?
Yeah, take your time.
Oh, no, I do.
Take your time. But you have to start seeing them as mirrors.
I do.
But, like, dead ass.
I know. And
just
this
because.
mirror.
Nessie Weshi.
This mirror sucked.
But
yeah, no, I do. I forgive them. I forgive them. I don't.
Take your,
I don't.
Hey, take your time.
I forgive them, but the other shit comes up for I forgive them for that stuff. It's because, no, seriously, it's always like, you know, it's one thing and then another thing comes up and then another. But yeah, so I'm seeing, you're right. I see them in their humanness, but then I also see what I did to you guys, right? And how I did the same, I did the same damn thing.
And at the end of the day, who the fuck cares? Because all we're supposed to do is just be and just love.
Right.
Just be and just love.
You can't be in
Who
love
the fuck cares?
until you process all this stuff and, you know.
Right. But then yes, you're so fucking right. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, if I were to look at my dad and still hold on to all that human baggage, if I were Horace, if I were to continue the trauma that Horace passed down,
right,
of I'm going to hold on to my humanity, I'm going to hold on to my emotions, to the bitterness, to the anger, if I were to hold on to the anger, to the bitterness, then nothing changes.
Nothing.
And I cannot be, and I cannot love.
And on that point, I want to just expand a little bit on that. Like, let's say you know you have it and you're not letting it go, and then you're over here doing your yoga, your meditations, you know, using all the oils, using getting once a week, getting readings from your favorite priestess.
I literally tweeted about that.
Going to the hot springs. ¿De qué te sirve?
¿De qué te sirve? Burning sage or burning palo santo,
my beautiful
if you are not willing to do the work, there is only so much that shit's gonna do.
Right. ¿De qué te sirve? Tell me. Tell me. It's like you stay in that same freaking hole. You stay cycling
over and over and over, blaming everybody around you, holding on to that anger, being the victim. Let it go, because it doesn't matter. And I know that sounds like a slap in the face, because you're like, but my pain, you're saying my pain doesn't matter? At the end of the day, it's love.
Right.
At the end of the day,
and yes, your pain matters, but why hold on to it? It's like, why you have your wound, why keep picking at it, right?
Yeah, why do you want to be in pain?
It's like, I remember when I was taking this, like, it was a religious class. It was like but the way I saw it was like a meditation class. It was like prayer. It's the one of my aunts does a lot.
I think you've talked about it.
Yeah, and I really liked it. And like, me and your dad took it together.
Yeah.
And I really liked it because it's one of the things, and it was cool because it's like prayer, but it was like meditation. And so like, I was seeing it in that this really spiritual class. And so that's one of the things. It's like, why? When something bad happens to you, you know, you go through it, you forgive, you forget, you process. But why do you keep thinking about it? Why do you keep running that whole scene through your head exactly how it happened? Because when you do that, it just reopens the wounds, literally. It goes into your brain and it makes your brain feel it. Like, and so like, I don't know if like something has happened to you like really bad, and you just keep reliving those awful memories. And what it does is that it changes your body chemistry and your brain cells, because your body thinks it's reliving it. So it's like, why do that to yourself? Why cause that trauma over and over and over?
But for real, why?
Yeah,
so like,
I'm asking why.
No, but I'm asking you why. Like, you went through it last week. You were thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it.
No, and I still do that sometimes with stuff like that happening with my marriage and stuff. I still go over it over and over. it just stuff that, because I think your body is so used to feeling it. When you stop feeling it, it's like, oh my God, where is it? I need to feel it. I need to feel how that terribleness. I need to feel. So it's just like the way your nervous system, because your nervous system isn't completely healed yet. That's the only thing I think.
Yeah.
Because once I catch myself, so it's like also like you have to be really conscious, really consciente of what's happening in your brain and be able to stop it. Because once you start thinking, oh my God, you can go down this rabbit hole and end up like, I don't know, thinking of a memory
9 steps back
when you were 3 years old and somebody took the Barbie away from you, right? So it's like you have to stop yourself, and that's the thing, is like you need to stop, and you have to build some control into your brain.
Well, I would say stop
your
yourself,
thoughts.
but in a way that's like not, because if I were a listener, I'd be like, my old me would be like, okay, suppress, I'm not going to think about it anymore and move on.
Oh, okay.
But now I'm like, okay, no, I'm going to stop. I'm going to take a deep breath, because I have control over my mind, but then I want to, come back to my body.
Smart.
And then it's, okay.
How do I feel?
Or it's, why is this still bothering me?
Oh.
What have I not healed from it? That smells so good. Do you smell it?
The outside.
And I feel like we brought up our ancestry for a reason, and then this smell is connecting me back to La Sierra.
Oh,
and the smell came out of nowhere. These ancestors are here. They're saying, okay, we're here.
Oh.
We're not just healing. When you push everything to a side, when you let go of your humanity, when I say your humanity, the emotions, and you connect back to your being, and you recognize your true self as energy, as essence, and you allow yourself to simply be, then you are actively healing your own, but them.
Yes.
And that's what they never got. They never got.
They didn't have the luxury to sit in stillness and feel. But yeah, so you're right. It's just feeling it and processing it.
And asking yourself.
And I think like my sister said, well, when does this processing stop?
Well, when you're done with you, you're also healing them, and then you're also healing other realities. And at the end of the day, really, it's like part of the process, but the objective shouldn't be, I will be perfect or I will be in bliss when my healing is done. No, you are in bliss right now.
Yes.
And that's what we're saying, is release the emotions, because you are in bliss right now.
Yes. So I think for me, since it was a really hard week at home, at work, I had to make a lot of big decisions, and it was just sucked. But one of the things I did, I was like, you know what? But I'm going to make that conscious effort of, I'm happy. I'm in bliss. I will wake up to work happy, dress and do my hair and do everything so I can feel good. So I think that also like helps you not necessarily trick your mind, but it's a little trick, right? You feel good.
You look good. You feel good.
Yeah. So it's just something where, you're saying, you know what? I deserve it. And so dress yourself. And just going to work and smiling and talking to everybody and smiling to everybody and say, how are you? How are you? I was like, if I can give that gift to somebody, to be somebody's,
to connect
and to be, how are you? Like, how are you? How are you really? How are you?
To humanize.
Yeah, when I ask how are you, I don't ask because for me, when I ask how are you, I really want to know how are you.
Yeah, I'll give you my whole life.
And so at work, when somebody asks me how are you, I'm like, do you want the polite answer?
Or do you really want to know how I am? Because I'm like fucking going through it.
Because I can fucking tell you everything and I can just be like,
yeah. Example A. The podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think what you do is you just realize, look, I'm alive.
Yeah.
And there is no objective.
Oh my God. And for me, I think that is such a blessing. Like, I am alive. Thank God. First, like the way my birth was, and then
that's so true.
My birth.
She always brings up her fucking birth.
It's such a miracle. So for all of you out there who know me, you are blessed. Blessed.
You're so true.
Children, you guys don't know how lucky you are to be here too, because I'm here.
Yeah.
And if I wouldn't be here, you wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're so right.
And then I was just like a really terrible teenager, so all the stuff I did. So I was just like, damn, I'm so blessed to be here.
Yeah, I was in shock recently. Look, I didn't realize you were friends with this one person, right? And he's been coming up a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's just energy.
I have his picture. We can put him up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would love to see it too, because I don't know what he looks like.
You know what? I'll look for it. I might have given it to. I'll look for it.
Okay.
But I might have given it to your dad.
Okay. Yeah.
Stuff.
We should hang him
Okay.
up. But so he was like a hardcore drug dealer. and you were over here friends with him.
Yeah.
I just connected that. And then we were driving one day, and I was like talking about like weed and shit, and my mom was like, yeah, well, when I was a teenager, I was taking MDMA. Or LSD or whatever the fuck that is, or ecstasy. MDMA is ecstasy.
Tachas.
What do you think that is, Mom?
They're tachas.
Like, that was hardcore shit. Well, acid? I don't know. But I was like, excuse me?
I was a terrible teenager.
Excuse me? You never once told me that shit.
Really?
That was the first time. And then within that same week, I found out where I just connected. I was like, oh my God. And she was best friends with this dude who was hard.
And then my other best friends like missed all 10th grade or half of 10th grade because they got caught at the border crossing drugs.
Oh my God.
And they were in jail in what? I don't know. It had to be El Paso. They were in jail for El Paso for a couple months, yeah. And that's where when I learned this little sign language thing that we would do.
Because of that?
And it was jail talk, yeah.
Yeah, so I was a saint.
I'm so glad.
I was a saint compared to you.
Dude, I never said I was a saint. I never said I was a saint. I just did not.
I'm just in shock.
It's my opinion. Yeah.
What?
I was like, in my defense, I just grew up on myself. Like, I was raising my siblings. Mm-hmm. My parents were never home. They gave me a car when I was 14. Mm-hmm. So come on. I was cooking, cleaning, doing laundry at 10. I was taking care of everybody at 10. So I thought I was a little grown up.
Damn.
I thought I was a little adult. But I still managed to graduate from high school with the kid and a really good GPA.
And college.
And I went to college.
And you went to college.
And I'm getting my master's now.
Yeah. Hey!
Hey. So see, there is hope, guys. There is hope.
There is. And you're healing.
Yeah, there's healing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I just forgot those things. Because you know how, like, the really traumatizing things, I block a lot. Remember how I told you I compartmentalize?
With your little tachas.
The tachas kind of put them in my brain.
Wait, for realsies?
I'm just kidding, no.
Oh.
Or maybe I could have been, like, a freaking neuroscientist. And because I was taking that
you
stuff
are
when I was
exactly
little.
who you are meant to be.
Okay, so see the...
I'm just in shock. I'm just
like,
wow.
the little boxes up because there's a lot of compartments
which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
No?
Fun?
If you change your perspective and you're like, wow, I went through so much in this life and there's still so much to go through.
Right. And I was just laughing because one of the things that I was mad about with one of my kids was like that she didn't wait for her sister. And I was cracking up. I was like just thinking, yeah, well, I never left my brothers and sisters. I would take them to the pool hall with me.
I would take them out with me when I go.
My brother has this vivid memory of this guy that I just was talking to, and he had a gun in his truck. And I had my brother with me. I was like, oh my God.
But at least you didn't leave them.
But I never left them. They were always with me.
Yeah.
And then my brother, oh my God, was talking about a story about how he was in a high speed car chase with the cops in my car with one of my friends. I was like, oh. And my brother was probably like 10, 11. It's like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Well, yeah, when I was in high school, this one's when I was like 15, 16, and he's 7 years younger than me. 9? He was 9.
Oh my God.
And that's what I was thinking about that. I was just like, God, thank you.
Yeah, but I mean, everything wins for a reason. A win is a win. A win is a win. You went through all of that for a reason. Look who you are right now.
Yeah.
A win is a win.
A win is a win.
You shouldn't, don't even think about, I should have done this. No.
Oh, no, I don't. I think I learned that, like, I don't have regrets. Like, a lot of things, like, they suck to go through. It was really hard, but I don't have regrets because I know because of that I am who I am today, and it's taught me so much. And then also it's like, it was the human design, it was the human experience that I chose.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to.
And so then did you live it?
Oh, hell yeah.
There we go. Did you live it or did you hold? I mean, there were times where it was rough, but
right. No. My whole youth, it was crazy. I lived every second. But then now that I think about it, I was like, okay, no wonder I had like so much anxiety at one point because I lived through so much, and then just remembering, I guess, all that trauma and all that stuff. I think that's where my anxiety started kicking in, on top of all the suppressing. Because like sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I get so much anxiety doing this, but then I did all this stuff. Like it just sometimes I just can't, doesn't connect, you know. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know where it came from.
But then too, we look at what you always say: anxiety breeds anxiety.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that one specific experience triggered it, but it was just already in you.
Right.
And maybe when you were younger,
Right.
and then we go back to the conversations we've had before, where it's like, okay, well, I probably have normalized it for so long, and then you were out here doing tachas. You know, like, you know, you were numbing yourself.
Yeah.
So then you reached this point where you were awake and you realized, oh, I have anxiety. It didn't just come from there.
Right.
You just normalized it for X amount of time.
Covered it forever.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
It's not just one answer.
And I think, and then, I don't know when that novela came out. Soñadoras de la vida siempre. No?
I have no idea what
With
that is.
Araceli Arámbula?
I have no idea.
They would do tachas too, so I thought.
Oh my god! I'm gonna go Google what the fuck are tachas. Google it right now.
I don't want to. Yeah, it's ecstasy.
Ecstasy? Yeah. And is that in... Okay, whatever. We'll figure it out. And I will keep you guys updated. Do not worry.
It's okay, we don't need it. Just do not do drugs, kids. Do not do drugs.
Yeah, because...
It does mess with your brain chemistry, and your brain is not fully developed until you are 24. Your brain isn't even fully developed yet. Do you know that?
Yes, I do know that.
I remember my therapist would be like, "Her brain isn't fully developed yet. She doesn't know what she's doing, literally."
And she was so right.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh my god! And think about it. I was 24
with 3 kids.
Because did I have you at 24? I know I had you at 25.
How would she know?
No, I had her at 24 and the other one. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, me at 24, Sophie at 25.
So at 25.
Oh, you
So
do
my
know.
brain was finally developed when I had Sophie.
Damn. Mom! Why would you do that?
Sonia,
You're so rude to me. Oh my god. What the... Mom!
It is ecstasy.
It is?
Thank you very
And
much.
is ecstasy MDMA?
Yeah.
Imagine what that did to my brain.
It's okay. You're fine now.
brain. I
And
gotta go get
you're
some
really
brain scans.
smart.
I gotta go do some brain scans just to make sure.
Why? Why are we attaching ourselves to all these things?
I'm just kidding.
Live in the moment.
Oh, okay.
Experience your humanity. That's another thing that I was reading. It's like, so then when we attach ourselves to our emotions, they control us, and then we become it, and then we're like, oh my god, I can't come out of this pain because this pain has defined me.
Right.
But then it's like, release it.
Oh my god.
I don't give a fuck if you have anxiety.
Yeah.
Be here.
Right.
Breathe through it.
Right. And stop
Well,
looking.
I do give a fuck
Stop
if you have
looking.
anxiety, but...
Stop looking at the future. Come back
Yeah.
to your present moment.
Let's be here.
Yeah.
Let's feel.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. I swear.
Oh my gosh.
These labels and shit don't
Our
matter.
teacher says
Our
that,
teacher
says that the people she loves to work with are the addicts, the
Oh,
gang
so
members.
she loves working with you.
Yeah. The gang members, all these ex.
Oh, she loves you!
The bad guys, right? Because we're the ones who have like experienced like so much trauma. But then it's just the beauty of it, right? How
The suffering births love.
yeah, and it's so,
So
true.
go into the love.
It's so true. I love like at work too. I love the hardest cases, and I love all the people that are the messed up people, right? The people that nobody wants to work with because it just brings so much value and so much just amazing. Because nobody really sees their humanity, right? They just see what they do.
Yeah.
But, so beautiful.
But they are like the kindest people.
Yeah.
They went through some shit.
Yeah. Damn.
What are you
Do you want
laughing
to
about?
be vulnerable?
Oh yeah, I did ask you that. So then we go back to the if you're not willing to do the work, there's only so much that we can do. I was watching Vida, and that's a show on Hulu that I was telling you about. Oh my god. Y luego le hacen they do a limpia, they do a cleanse on one of the main characters, and it's a bath, it's a whole thing. And then right before she leaves, the espiritista, or the spiritual being,
The light worker.
the light worker, looks at the girl and goes, this brought up, this is a cleanse. It got out everything that doesn't serve you. It took out everything that, she like said it over and over and over. And the girl's like, yeah. Not hearing her. Saying, it took it out, so it's going to be displayed. It took it out, so now you can't hide it. And so when this girl was over here, it was in the middle of chaos everywhere she went, she was like, fuck your fucking limpia, it didn't work, it just made things worse. And then later she's like, oh my god, I'm the bad.
Yeah.
It was all me.
And it's not necessarily that it's all her, but it's like you're living a lie and you get this done, and then or you're living what you're not supposed to live, and you get this work done, and of course it's going to take it away because it's not for you, right? But if you're in this marriage and in this work and living in this place where you're not supposed to, it's going to mess up your marriage, it's going to mess up your work, and it's going to mess up where you live because that's not where you're supposed to be doing.
But it was more like, yes, that's so right, and in some cases 100%, but in this case it was like
she was the one that was causing everything.
Yeah, and when she and the espiritista, the light worker, said everything that is like rotten is out.
Ooh.
So her insecurity, her chasing chaos, her burning bridges, her shit talking about people, all of that was just out, and she was doing it all in like one day.
Oh,
it was insane to watch. It was actually very, very beautiful to see that being represented on
what
like
episode? What season?
Vida.
Que vida la mía.
On Hulu.
I know, but like what
No, you're gonna watch it all, honey.
I think I watched the first one.
Oh, you did?
Wow, a long time ago.
Oh, the second
Or
season's
maybe
pretty good.
Okay.
I'll watch it. I really like it.
I'll watch it.
Really cool.
I'm trying to finish The Sopranos right now.
Oh, that's a slow.
Yeah, I can only watch like one episode every couple days.
Yeah. But so that's the thing. That's what you're doing when you're over here doing cleanses and stuff, and you're not aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, so it's like
come back to your body. Become aware of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Become aware of what you're doing. This is your sign.
Be careful what you ask for.
And be careful what you ask for. Yeah, I had to go through those moments.
Oh yeah.
You had to go through those moments. In order for growth, we have to see ourselves.
Oh,
so that we can finally release it and say, you know what? It doesn't matter.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing this space and this time with us.
Like always, we appreciate you. We love you.
And just remember, this is our stories. This is like what the stuff that we go through. It's our perspective. It's our vulnerability.
Yes.
And like we share this stuff not for you guys to come and judge us, but to help you.
And not even to be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that.
Right.
You know?
Just our stories. It's like what we went through, but then also we're not professionals. We're not.
Mm-hmm. And we want to make space for you to be able to have the courage, have the strength, have the hope,
right?
Have the ability to go through your own healing journey, to make up your own fucking mind, to expand your own language, to hear different perspectives and decide what do I believe in, and to ultimately just be.
Yeah.
Just
be in love.
Be. Ashe. Bye. Love you.